Didn't think it was going to survive, and you ask a nasty question. We're ahead of
Obscure provision in House bill threatens enforcement of court rulings on Trump. The legislative provision echoes a memo Trump signed March 11 directing the Justice Department to request bonds in all cases where judges block his policies. Washington. A provision in the House-passed package of President Donald Trump's priorities would erect what one judge called a $1 trillion barrier to challenging his policies in federal court.
Creating an economic emergency act and insisting the U.S.
That was love in that room. There was no.
At stake is whether judges can enforce their orders blocking Trump policies that are ruled unlawful, as they already have 180 times. The muscle behind court orders is that judges could find government officials in contempt if they disobey, threatening fines, sanctions, or even jail. But the obscure House provision, which even a Republican supporter of the legislation disavowed, would prevent judges from enforcing their orders unless litigants post a bond.
Today, the latest battle in President Trump.
Harris said that you didn't add it.
The bond could match the amount at stake in the lawsuit, which in one case was trillions in federal grants. Without the threat of contempt, legal experts say the Trump administration could ignore court orders with impunity. What this provision would do is say that actually, no court of the United States could enforce an injunction or restraining order using their contempt authority. Eric Cashton, senior legal counsel for federal advocacy at the nonprofit Campaign Legal Center, told USA Today.
Reagan, Obama, and Trump unanimously ruled.
We talked about specifically.
The legislation deals with one of the rules governing federal civil lawsuits, known as 65C. It calls for litigants to post a bond if they win a court order such as an injunction or a temporary restraining order to block something from happening, in case the defendant ultimately wins the case. Judges have discretion about how much to set the bond.
President Trump.
Harris said that you didn't adequately.
Dead. We had a dead country. We had a country people do that.
But the goal is to have the bond comparable to how much the defendant might lose while the case is litigated, such as a lost sale or blocked merger. For decades, judges have waived bonds in cases against the government because the lawsuits aren't typically over money. They are about a disputed policy or the Constitution. That's what we can say. Don't forget to support our channel by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. We thank you all for your support.
Reagan, Obama, and Trump unanimously